There we go.
Let me go do my hair. Let me go back in there. This one time I was doing a gig with Kathy Jean. And we're going up to Levittown. And she stopped at every rest stop. I got to do my hair, son. I got to do my hair. But she berated me because I was 15 minutes late to her house.
Kathy Jean, I remember her.
And we finally, she didn't have the directions. We get up there, we're cruising around Levittown, and she's cussing me out. God damn it, Sam, if you weren't so late, we'd be there by now. So at some point she pulls into the Burger King, and she goes, I'm sorry, Slim, and she breaks out a crack pipe, takes a big hit, and she looks at me, and she lets out this, and she looks at me and goes, oh, Slim, I don't know if I'm going to shit or throw up. And I just looked at her, and then when I looked at her, I said, is that the place we're supposed to play at right there? And it was. And she went over the curb like the Rat Patrol. Remember that old show, the Rat Patrol? We get there, she's unloading shit. We didn't have to play for like 2 more hours.
So where are we at, Slim? We're at Archer, and we just left Cicero, so we're in Al Capone's old neighborhood, right?
Archer and 47th Street.
Yeah, there you go.
So I guess that Hawthorne Hotel has been torn down. I don't think that Mayor Daley had anything to do with that, but all the Al Capone and mob landmarks in the city of Chicago, Richard Daley, the first, had them all torn down because he was anti-mob and didn't want Chicago to be known as a mob. But that St. Valentine's Day Massacre spot would have been a huge, it still is, people stop there.
Would have been a huge tourist attraction.
Huge tourist
Chicago. The banquet houses. They're you know, we have the wedding reception there.
We used to go to these weddings at these banquet halls, and all of our cousins or whatever, you know, relatives, and you would have the, you know, the buffet style, right? Green beans, roast beef, mastacholi, and
mastacholi.
Remember mastacholi? That's a Chicago thing.
Oh yeah. There would always be a big, you know,
a big foil pot thing, or
mastacholi in there. Yeah. This is so, for me, a familiar sight. These, like, lots of old brick buildings, you know, like this.
Yeah. Well, there's a certain architecture.
Yeah.
I mean, not
square.
Obviously, there's the skyscraper.
Right, that's a whole other thing.
But the neighborhood architecture. I mean, just over there we were just at with Bob. I just brought back memories.
Oh yeah,
flooding back of these because it's even there's houses like that in Cal City and Lansing and you know over where I grew. So you know, my mom and dad, you know, my mom and dad, they hung around with almost all Mexican people. But they always had one foot in American culture, right? But they didn't hang around in neighborhoods like this, but they always came to these neighborhoods to get the food. You know, shopping, because you couldn't get tortillas at the Jewel.
You couldn't, not good
things,
ones.
You know, yeah, and things, you know, the spices and all that kind of stuff.
Jicama.
Yeah.
Can't find jicama in a regular white man's
my
store.
mom used to always make everything from scratch, Mexican food, you know, with dried peppers and stuff. You couldn't get that at Jewel then, you know.
Yeah, I tell you what, man. Supermercados.
I don't know why.
El Giro. El Giro? What is that?
Giro.
El Giro?
Is that a G? Guero?
Yeah.
Guero is like white. No, Guero. Yeah, that's El Guero. That's like the light-skinned one. Yeah, Guero is like what the Mexicans call the Güeros.
So the whiter skinned Mexicans.
Yeah, that's actually, it's the literal is light-skinned, the light-skinned one.
Right.
But it's kind of a derogatory name for a Güero, you know. for
a white man.
For a gringo, right?
For a gringo. Güero. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I don't know why I never came back. It was one of the things I had never planned on staying. My cousin Mark moved out there. I'd never been anywhere. You know, my family was down on me. I wasn't working. And he needed help moving. I'd never been anywhere, right? He's going to go to D.C. I said, sure, hell yeah, right? His brothers gave me a job. I worked it for a little bit. And I was always going to come back. And then, you know, met a girl, got a job, and started playing music. And next thing you knew, I was 63.
I know.
God,
dude, I'm telling you what.
So my first real blues thing, seeing Lonnie Brooks, was at 159th and Halstead and Harvey. And got in there accidentally because, you know, at that time it was 19 to drink in
I remember that.
Illinois, but 21 to drink in Chicago, but Harvey was 21 to drink.
Right. Or 19.
No, it was 21.
In Harvey,
In
not
Harvey. Calumet City, Harvey. South Holland didn't serve alcohol.
So you had to sneak in.
So we all went to this club, and I drove with some guys, and you know, we would always drive in different cars or a couple cars, and if you had your car, you just go somewhere else. So I was with these guys, and usually if you got carded, we'd get in the car and go somewhere else until we ended up back in this, you know, at the taverns, right? And so this one night, I was with 4 or 5 guys, and they got into this club, right? And I didn't, and they said, all right, Dave, we'll just get you afterwards. I was like, what? And so there was 3 or 4 places on the place. 2 of them ended up being blues bars. So I walked across the street. They had this big sign out in front. I didn't really pay attention to what it was. Walked in. It was $5. It was live music. I had my head down because I was a baby face, right? Had my head down. I said $5. I gave $5. Went in. It was Lonnie Brooks. And I walked in, and so there was a bar, and then you walked in the room, the music room, where there were tables and everything. Lonnie Brooks was up on a table playing the guitar with a bottle. And, you know, Lonnie Brooks, a handsome, charismatic guy. Could play his ass, sing his ass off.
He was good.
And then right after that, he started doing The Hideaway, and that was one of the first songs I was working on. I took lessons briefly. And so after that, man, I was knocked out, right? Because I like blues anyway. I like the Allman Stones and, you know, Eric Clapton, etc., Jeff Beck, you know. And so I started going over there all the time, man. I saw Luther Allison there. I saw Fenton Robinson there.
Oh, Fenton Robinson. Somebody loaned me a dime.
I saw Lefty Diz over there. I saw Mighty Joe Young like 4 or 5 times there, man. Mighty Joe Young was
great. His guitar's name was Josephine.
He had that nice soulful.
Oh, he was.
And he played the shit out of the
Would
guitar,
he be called West Side Chicago, like Magic Sam stuff, or like?
What's
his name?
Yes. Yes,
he's more West Side, like
more West
Otis
Side.
Rush, like West Side kind of
more West Side, but more in soul.
Yeah, West
mixed
Side
with soul.
Yes.
But guess you said that Magic Sam. He played rhythm guitar on Magic Sam's album that has "Mama Talk to Your Daughter" and all. He plays rhythm guitar on that.
No shit.
And I talked to him a couple times. Super nice guy. And then and that place was called Just Angels.
And your buddy that played with Magic Slim that we talked to,
John McDonald.
Right.
I should have got a hold of him, man. We should be filming him.
Yeah, well, it's not too late. We got a couple days.
Yeah, check it out, because you know who he's played with. I mean, he played
with everybody.
Yeah,
I saw him in Albuquerque when I saw Magic Slim and the Teardrops the very first time. We played at the Dingo Bar.
He played with him for a long time. He played with Lefty Diz for a long time. He's played with Robert Jr. Lockwood. He's played with the Kinsey.
He probably played with the old Delta guy. He was probably on some of his shows.
He played with
contemporary of Robert Johnson's. He played at the Chicago Fest all the time. The real old guy.
Johnny Shines.
No, the other real old guy.
I don't think he played with him though.
Honey Boy Edwards.
Yeah, I don't think he played with him. Oh, he might have.
I think he played with him at Chicago Fest.
I think he did, because he played that one year with him and Robert Wilkins and Robert Lockwood Jr. He was like as a backup.
Yeah, I think he played with Honey Boy Edwards. Because I recognize him.
I met John. Do you ever remember this place in Madison called Detmerings?
Yeah.
So we used to go there to hear music. Right?
Yeah.
It was a country rock place.
Yeah, we
and blues place. And so I went in there one time, and this band
used to sneak in there because we weren't really old enough.
Well, this band Saddle Sore was in there. I just turned 19, and we started going on there. We started going in there on Tuesdays for dollar pitcher night or some shit like that. And so I went in there one night. I used to hang out in there because they had live music, right?
Right.
So this band Saddle Sore was in there, and there's this fucking black guy playing guitar, right? And he's playing the hybrid system with the pick and fingers.
Flat clawing, pick. Like clawing. Flat pick and clawing.
Yeah, they call it the hybrid.
Yeah.
And he was knocking me out his playing, right? So, but I was getting smashed. I was there by myself because at that point already I was 19 and I was separating from my friends musically wise because I didn't want to hear you know, I was getting tired of this, you know. I mean, I liked live music and I liked roots music, you know. And so I was there by myself and I was tanked, and I went up to John. I said, man, I was just trying to pay him a compliment. I stuck my hand, I said, hey man, I really, you know, like your style and like your, you know, and I stumbled. And he goes, hey man, get away from me, you're drunk. And anyway, so I was like, oh, fuck this guy, right? Fuck him, you know. Yeah, I'm drunk, I'm fucking out at the bar and I'm trying to pay you a compliment. You know,
bitch.
I don't have to be a fucking dickhead about it. I found out, you know.
Hey, is this your other cousin that's moving right here in front of us?
That's his apartment.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm leaving, it's closing, and I see that John's on the payphone, and you know, I just rolled up to him, you know, and I said, hey, everything all right? He goes, yeah, my car's broke down, and you know, just trying to get a ride home. I said, well, jump in, I'll give you a lift home. And he goes, I said, where are you going to Chicago Heights? I said, well, I'm going over to Sauk Village, or maybe I was going to Chicago Heights, I don't know. And you know, when we became friends then, and he kind of took me under his wing.
That's fucking amazing. What a stroke of luck after that first encounter.
Yeah, exactly. But then, you know, we found out he's a fucking grumpy guy.
Oh, well.
He's one of these. He's like Robert Jr. Lockwood. He's grumpy. He's been friends with people on Facebook. He cut my cousin Bob off of Facebook. He cut Pete Canaris off because I introduced them in Facebook. People, there it is. You know, he just gets mad, and you know, I mean, he got mad at me one time. I mean, I actually told him off, you know, and then I gotta take that shit. And he has this friend called Mondo Cortez that plays around here.
Mondo Cortez.
And the guy's a pretty good player. He's friends with Pete. So Pete handed him over to Cat's Eye Pub. I went up and met him. I was actually friends with him on Facebook because he's Mexican. He's a blues player, right?
Right.
Friends with John McDonald.
Right.
So anyway, I met the guy, took a picture with him, and then I get home and I send John a message. Oh no, I was talking to Mondo. He goes, I say, we have a mutual friend, John McDonald. He goes, yeah, John's mad at me right now. And I said, oh yeah, what for? He goes, I don't know. I said, yeah, I know. He's always mad at people. Nobody knows why. Right? So anyway, he's a grumpy guy. So next one
you know
I get
what?
up.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
Connie's Pizza.
Is it good?
It's supposed to be really good. I've never had it. I am gonna have some pizza when I'm up, but I'm just gonna have cheese. But anyway, we should be able to get on the Dan Ryan, and you know, but we're still, I don't know, we might be a little bit north of where you really wanted to be, but I know what you're talking about. It opens up. It almost seems like you're going up a mountain, but you're not. It's just the way the lake opens up.
It's just, and that's like an earliest childhood.
Yes, from field trips and going into the, yes.
The first trip I came into the city that I remember, I was 4 years old, and my little brother Rob was 1, and we were coming up to Northbrook from Lansing, Michigan to visit my dad's mother, Grandma Olga. We're not that far from Buddy Guy's if we get to we're on Wabash.
We're on Wabash.
Isn't Buddy Guy's on Wabash?
Yeah. I've never been to it.
You never been to Buddy Guy's?
No.
Oh shit! I saw Luther Allison there. What's his name? Ronnie Earl. I saw Phil Guy. I saw Junior Wells. And that night that Junior Wells was playing there, Buddy Guy was sitting at the bar, and he was sitting talking to Dr. John, and they both got up and joined Junior Wells in the show. Nice. I think I want to turn left here, and I think I'm
Michigan Avenue. The place is right off Michigan Avenue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well.
There's Easter Guys. Well, what we'll do is we'll get in our room, we'll figure this out, we'll go down to the bar, have a little snack or something, and then we'll figure out our evening.
Oh, I should have tried to get some papers from that place.
Rolling papers.
I don't know if Bob left me a pipe or anything.
All we need is some tinfoil.
We're from the 70s, I forgot. So when's the last time you were downtown?
2000, well, let's see, 6 or 7 with Kathleen. We saw, before he died, the barroom preacher,
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson. We saw him play, and with his trombone player and the whole shiznit. Oh wait, we can go straight.
Yeah, there must be something. Maybe there's something going on at Grant Park.
Yeah, that might be right.
Oh, look at that, Rue.
That's a wild-looking statue.
Yeah, we should try to. I'm going to try to do some walking if we can. I have a hard time walking, dude.
I got a bunch of quarters if we can find a parking spot, but that's the hard thing.
Yes.
The hard thing is the parking. But here's the thing we can do. What we have to do is we want to find, like, that would be a cool place to go set up with all those people, those statues.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool place to set up in video.
Yeah.
It would just get a cab and drop us off, right?
Yeah.
So here's what we've got to do tonight. That's on the list. Whatever this is, that is Roosevelt Road and Michigan Avenue, okay? Between 11th Street and Roosevelt, because Roosevelt's 12th.
So,
and that's those weird statues in that park. That would be such a cool place to film.
Yeah.
So that's what we've got to look for. And dude, we don't have to stay there long. We just got to like play once through the song and kind of get through it, and then we'll go to the next one, because this all gets cut together. We're not audio recording, we are visual recording.
Right.
So we just got to, if we screw up, you don't wince when you screw up. You just keep playing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I can always zoom in on the other guitar while the other guitar is screwed up. You know what I mean?
See, now we're getting into this is the old skyline. This is from the 1920s.
Right. Yeah. And somewhere over here is the Schubert Theater.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Right over there, I think.
It's one of these streets. We saw that's where the train comes in. If you go down over here, you can see the tracks. Like, see where those people are on that bridge?
Yeah.
That's the overpass to all the tracks that come into the train station there. Isn't that the shit? Yeah, look at this old front here. This is like the canyon, man.
Yeah, this is the original skyline.
We're on Michigan Avenue, bitches. Yeah.
So anyway, we walked from our hotel over to the Navy Pier. We actually had, I thought it was gonna all be real. I mean, it's kind of touristy, but the Millennial Park was really nice. And then we went
right over here.
Yeah,
it's literally
right up here. We went on this architectural boat ride.
Oh yeah,
I thought all these years I thought that was gonna be some cheesy thing.
It's the best.
It was really good.
I've done it twice.
And I went over to get a beer, and I started talking to the girl. I told her I was from Baltimore. She was from Baltimore, and she bought me a beer. I was like, sweet. And
yeah, there's the Prudential building right there. See, it says Prudential, so I got the wrong building.
The pointy one, right?
Yeah, no, it's the blue letters. See the blue letters?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
so this one's
the
a Standard Oil.
Yeah. So I think it's underneath the Standard Oil building that the trains come in, but we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
And anyway, so right here, we're coming up to Madison Avenue, somewhere in here. Jackson, Madison, yeah. So I used to get out of the train station here, the Illinois Central, take this one over here. Now, there used to be a really good ribs joint.
Went down when I was just 17 years old. Say, my first friend went down when I was just 17 years old. Well, there's just one thing I can say, boy, Chicago. 21 years of age. Yeah, my second friend went down when I was just 21 years of age.